The WoodWorks Power Rack is fun, rewarding, simple, and inexpensive to build. Don't buy a shaky sheet metal import. Build your own gem for 1/3 the cost using WoodWorks detailed plans, cut sheets, and Home Depot shopping lists. Here are some of our assembly tips. The height and the depth of the WoodWorks Power Rack can be easily modified to compensate for your ceiling limitations or the area you have for your power rack. A compound miter box saw with a sharp blade is highly recommended, but it's not necessary. You can make all the cuts by hand, and you also get a good workout on at least one arm. Use a rafting square to help lay out and measure 45-degree and 90-degree cuts. This can be picked up at Home Depot for about $8. Lightly sand all of the edges on your blocks to help the two pieces fit together and to create a professional finish. After laying out the location of the bar rest holes, transfer the locations from the first piece to all the other uprights using an 1/8 of an inch or smaller drill bit. This will save you a lot of time and make all the parts exactly the same. Use a Forstner bit for super clean holes, but you can also use a spade bit to drill the holes for the bar rests. Using the pilot holes that you previously drilled in the uprights, drill from each side, meeting halfway in the center. Start on one side, drill halfway through, flip over the board, and drill from the other side. This will make the cleanest hole possible. A styrofoam sheathing or underlayment can be used as a work surface. Just adjust your circular saw to a depth no more than 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch past your piece of wood and use it as a work surface. This is an excellent way to cut a piece of wood or even a whole sheet of plywood safely on site, on the floor where you're working. Home Depot and most hardware stores will cut to length and thread your Schedule 40 pipe. If not, you can do it by hand. File all the sharp edges on your pipe to avoid cuts and to make it easier to insert the bar rests into your power rack. Mark the locations for the holes for your safety pins on the bar rest and center punch the hole locations to keep the drill bit from wandering on the round surface of the pipe. It's almost impossible to drill a hole in a pipe without first center punching the location of the hole. Deburr your hole using a file or a piece of sandpaper. I recommend making your own safety pins. You can purchase 1/4 inch round safety pins, but because we use 8 for this project, that can get rather pricey. So take your 1/4 inch round rod, cut it to length, file or sand off all the sharp edges, and then place that pin blank into a vise where you can bend over one portion of the pin to create your own safety pin. Now that all your pieces are cut, it's time for assembly. Start with the uprights. Pre-drill several of the holes so the 2x4 can be pulled tight to the 2x6. Use a high-quality wood glue and a high-quality box of wood screws. This is very important. If there are gaps, use a urethane-based glue like Gorilla Glue. If not, regular Titebond or Elmer's wood glue will work just fine. Locate the two upright pieces together, screw them tight, and then repeat for all the 4 uprights. It's now time to assemble the left and the right portion of the power rack. Lay each upright flat on the floor. Locate all of the components and reference the assembly drawings. The power rack is designed to self-locate. It is very important to use wood glue and screw all of these members together. The left and the right uprights are sized to fit through most doorways. That way the power rack can be disassembled and moved to another location. Apply wood glue and screw each of the pieces from both sides of the power rack, from the inside and from the outside. Now that the right and left side of the power rack has been assembled, you can drill through the support brackets that you assembled at the previous step. It's now time to assemble the left and the right portions. Pre-drill the left and the right portions. Do not pre-drill the cross members. Fasten the cross members to the left and the right uprights using your 4-inch structural screws. Do not use wood glue. This will make it so the power rack can be disassembled and relocated. Mark the location and drill from both sides the 2-inch hole for the pull-up bar. The 2-inch size is optional. You can use 1.5 inches or even a metal pipe if you prefer. Secure the dowel with your 4-inch structural screws. Locate and drill the holes for the 2-inch weight storage dowel rods. The 2-inch size is optional. You can reduce that size to 1.5 inches or even use steel pipe. Installation of the 2-inch dowel pins might require an impact persuasion device. Secure these with your 4-inch structural screws. Install the steel safety bars and secure in place with the safety pins. Thanks for watching the power rack assembly and fabrication video. Download the detailed plans, cut sheets, and Home Depot shopping lists at woodworks.us. The power rack is part of Woodworks' Build Your Gym series. We look forward to providing you several more very exciting plans in the near future. All of Woodworks' instructional videos and detailed fabrication plans are protected by Woodworks' Release of Liability Agreement that can be found at woodworks.us.